Hello everybody, this is Antonio. I'm back again for the resilience tip. So we had now almost 10 resilience talks with excellent professionals. Today we will cover a very interesting subject. So how did it came? One of the interviewees, Benjamin Cook from Harvard, at some point he told me, and you can see here the video, okay? Click the link, okay? And then he said, this is very well, resilience and all that, but if you have a rigged system, that's not possible to be, or it's very difficult to be. So, and I thought it's sufficiently interesting to develop, okay? So today we are going to, I'm going to try to answer this question and develop, can you be resilient in a rigged system? So let's go, guys. So, yeah, interesting question, because resilience is about personal responsibility, as I told you in previous videos, Viktor Frankl, and the question about endurance. The assumption of resilience is that nevertheless the conditions and what you face and live, you can bounce back. Okay, of course you have here some things that are important to take into account, as I said in, for example, second video, don't be alone. No one is resilient alone. There's people that are more resilient than others, have more resilience traits. In the research they also explore that, so I also previously told that. Also, it's important to change your point of view, to have a plan, opportunities, upbringing, all that is influential. Luck, for example, in your success. But of course, there's a principle teaching that we see all day in different histories, in research, etc., that you can be resilient. But then, as Ben told, you have a rigged system. For example, oh, okay, you can be resilient, but you are in a society that it's unequal, that gives opportunities to some people and others not. For example, disabled, minorities, black, whatever. Or if you are in a dictatorship, or a society that is corrupt, whatever. Really resilient persons are the ones that live in rigged systems. So as I mentioned in the first video, you can see here the video, also Ben's video, the interview, that is very interesting. But as I explained in the first video, I showed the book by Viktor Frankl. So it's striking what he says. So he says that with his story as a psychologist and a revolutionary with his psychological current, that a person that is in the concentration camp, in this case his example, can have inner freedom. Okay? So this is striking. So what he explains is this: okay, it's not that you have a very good life in the concentration camp, of course not. You face difficult and degrading situations that can bring you to have an unworthy life, as you can say, like, and you can react with also, again, with that death culture, feel angry, to do the same to others. He gives examples, so all the life in the concentration camp, all those schemes that people mounted to survive, right? Stealing things, like in a prison, for example, alliances, wars between them, all that. But what he said was this: people that find inner freedom, they chose not to pursue a way that the others wanted them to pursue. The others, the bad guys in this case, the dictators, and also all the environment that was created in the concentration camp. So the ultimate decision is that, do I follow this kind of living, or I decide to have at least my inner freedom? I'm not saying that I can change my life completely, but at least I have my inner freedom. So Frankl tells, so I have heard the book, we are not only socially constructed by our environment, like a simple game of luck, of fortune. Okay, so a simple result of our education, our environment. So he tells that ultimately we can have the choice. Okay, and he said that some people, not all of course, but some people chose not to pursue that way of degrading themselves and degrading others. He gives the example of, you had people in the concentration camp that occupied themselves with another people, giving them hope or giving them food. So these are the examples of resilient people. So they chose life. This book stroked me so much, and I still believe it. Of course, it's not easy, never easy, and you need others. You need other conditions, as I am telling in various videos. But nevertheless, Ben has a point in this. We can have our individual freedom of changing, of seeing in different way our condition, choosing our path, doing a plan, and with our courage try to change our lives. But of course, it's good to change the system if it is rigged. Okay. So it's good to be in politics, to change things, to bring to people more just and better lives. It's good to fight injustices, corruption, etc. Or if you are not a politician, to speak up, to in your life give the example of not promoting injustices, helping people, all that. So ultimately, resilience is about us and others. It's to help us to be free and to be bold with to adapt and to change our lives, to believe in ourselves, to treat ourselves well, but also others. Okay, to empower others with that hope, with that self-valuance, because we are valuable. This is rooted in our value as human beings. So environment, circumstances don't define us. What defines us is ultimately our choice. Do I choose life, or do I give up life? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this reflection. So give me your thoughts on this, what you think, that this makes sense or not. Subscribe at the channel, share it also, and bye bye. See you next week.